Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, Las Vegas? You chilling with R. Dot in the Full Court Press. Another beautiful Monday. We made it. The weekend is over. The grind is back. You can catch me on Thursday, too. You know what I'm saying? I'm really grinding. You catch me on Mondays and Thursday. Full Court Press. We have it. A lot of good action over the weekend. A lot of basketball. A lot of records being set. UNLV losing a close one. That was a foul. Houston still smoking. Just beating everybody. I know a lot of people don't believe the regular season means anything. However, if you're the Houston Rockets, you want that number one seed throughout the playoffs. You want to win as many regular season games as you can if you're the Houston Rockets. High school basketball wrapped up here in Las Vegas. Man, just a bunch of stuff. But first, I want to talk to y'all about this weather here. Woo! I don't know what happened, but I'm telling you, I was talking about summertime and it being nice and warm and people out here in shorts. Man, it's cold now. Real brisk. It's not to the point where I don't want to go outside cold. I'm not going to ever front like it's ever that cold here in Las Vegas. However, it is cold enough to where you got to wear a beanie and probably your big boy coat. You know, you can't go out there sidestepping with the weak little fleece on or the weak little hoodie on, the champion hoodie on. That ain't working. You got to really wear your coat. Don't get it twisted. The other day, allegedly around town, it was snowing. When they showed snow on the news, everyone was in the mountains. So I don't know if it's snow only in the mountains or if it's snow everywhere. But I'm going to keep it 100. R. Dot didn't see any snow. I was indoors, but I didn't see no snow. And it's crazy that I'm even talking about snow because I was just talking about how it was so hot here. And now it's snowing. Get out of here, man. It's crazy. I want to give a couple shout outs real quick because, like I said, high school basketball just wrapped up. We had great high school basketball season. Shout out to Clark High School. Shout out to Bishop Gorman. Shout out to Canyon Spring. Shout out to all the high schools in the area for, you know, putting it down, holding it down. And shout out to the seniors of class of 2018. I know how it is. But Bishop Gorman wins again and again and again and again and again. This time they beat Bishop Manogue 62-41 for the boys 4A state basketball championship. This happened last week on Friday in Reno, Nevada. Look, this is like their seventh state title in a row. This is a dynasty. Hopefully they got the film together. Hopefully someone's been documenting this on video because I can't wait for the 30 for 30 on Bishop Gorman or the We Can't Lose documentary on Bishop Gorman. It's going to be so tight. Everything about it is going to be tight. Yo, like, they had some for De La Salle, and I know you saw that in other high schools, but Bishop Gorman is going to be right up there with those documentaries. And let me tell you, man, snow here, the only time I really even felt snow here and where it really stuck was probably 2010, 2009, somewhere around that time frame. It snowed. It stuck. People were acting crazy. No one could drive. I really couldn't drive my car at the time. I had these crazy summer tires on where any kind of wetness on the ground make the tires or make the whole car skid. So I couldn't drive. But a lot of people don't know how to drive in the snow. And it's an art to driving in the snow. And if you're not used to it, or if you don't know how to drive in the snow, it is kind of frustrating, and it's a little bit concerning. I know it could be an intimidating thing. I lived in the snow back in 02, 03 as an adult. That was the first time as an adult I had to live in the snow. And boy, oh boy, it's a lot of things you got to learn, man. First of all, get yourself an ice scraper. You know, get yourself an automatic starter too if you can, because at that time, automatic starter was a luxury to have. Now they come equipped in a lot of cars, but at that time you had to, that was a luxury. Get yourself an automatic starter, an ice scraper, and you good. As long as you got those two, you all right. Because you're going to want to warm up your car at least probably, I would say 20 minutes before you even come out the house. At least 20 minutes. Warm that sucker up with the automatic starter. Have your ice scraper when you come out. The ice will be already nice and kind of soft for you, so you just scrape it off. I had to learn these things, ladies and gents. You just can't pop up in the snow and act like, you living in California still. It's not going to happen. So shout out to Bishop Gorman. Shout out to Las Vegas in this snow. One more thing I want to tell y'all about is the way the Black Panther movie is setting records worldwide. Looks like they made over 500 million. Yeah, let me say that again. Looks like they made over $500 million in less than 10 days, ladies and gentlemen. The Black Panther movie in less than 10 days, or about 10 days, we'll say about 10 days, have made over 500 million. Disney and Marvel has to thank black people. You know who else got to thank black people? Obama has to thank black people. Black people, you guys got to wake up. When we want something to happen, we can make things move. We can shake things up if we just stick together and make things happen. You guys have to understand this. The 2 times in recent history where we all got together, record numbers and record things has happened as a result of us sticking together. Just keep that in mind when the next important thing for, our race or our race of people comes up. Just keep that in mind. We strong in numbers and we can make things move. Y'all have to realize that by now. Over 500 million? We made them suckers some cash. They owe us. Obama, same thing. He owe us. Las Vegas, UNLV. Man, tough loss, man. Real tough loss for UNLV. The Mountain West tournament is coming up. UNLV, they got some work to put in, man. They going to have some work to put in. It's going to be tough for those guys. And I know their confidence is low, especially after that tough loss, man. That was a tough loss on last night against New Mexico. I thought it was a foul. Everyone thought it was a foul. UNLV loses at New Mexico 91-90. The problem is the referees didn't want to call that foul in New Mexico, to put Jordan J on the line. I understand. You know how it is. But Mountain West tournament coming up real soon here. We're starting, I think, March 7th. That's at the Thomas and Mack, starting at 11 o'clock. The seedings are just about intact. I don't think anyone can move up anymore. Well, maybe some of the bottom teams, but the top teams is pretty much set with New Mexico and Fresno State. Depending on these last 2 games, they could flip-flop maybe as far as seeding go. But 8-9 pretty much is set. The seeding is pretty much done. Nevada's going to be the top spot. Boise at number 2. And like I said, Fresno and New Mexico flip-flop 3 and 4. Pretty much San Diego State and Wyoming 9 and 7. They could flip-flop. UNLV, very important for them, I believe, to at least win. It's going to be a tough game, no doubt. It's going to be a tough game against Nevada. Nevada's sitting at number 21. But UNLV, they can beat these guys. They can play hard, and they can beat these guys. That game is on Wednesday, so you guys check it out. It's at the Thomas and Mack. It should be a full deck crowd. It's always it is. It's always like that versus UNR. It should be full decked out, and it should be a tough home game for UNLV. And then UNLV closes out the season at Utah State. So we got the Mountain West Conference tournament coming up. We also have the West Coast Conference tournament coming up in Las Vegas. And then we have the extravagant March Madness tournament coming up here, where in Las Vegas, I don't know if I would rather be anywhere else watching March Madness. Those first 4 days, it's all love here. You can watch every game. You can make some money. You can eat, drink some brews, hang out with the fellas, miss work. Any dude who is at work during March Madness, shame on you. You know it's coming every year. You know you got to put in for it every year. I need this day off, which is Friday. Actually, if you get off late on Thursday, you might as well take Thursday afternoon off. You know, it'll take your job at least 2-3 years to catch on before they even catch on to know what you're doing. You know, they'll be like, man, he takes off every year around this time. Same thing. Thursday afternoon, all day Friday, and all day Monday. Please, you got to take that Monday off too, because that Sunday you're still getting faded with your boys that Sunday night watching March Madness. So you got to take Monday off. Come back in Tuesday. Ease your way back into the work week, and then start it all over again the next week. March Madness is the best time in Las Vegas. It's better than going to a venue. I'm telling you, it's way better than going to a venue. I've been to a March Madness event, first round. I've never been to a Final Four or Sweet 16, Elite 8, or anything like that. But I've been to a first round action. It was fun, and it's just that. It's just a normal basketball game. We've been to hundreds of basketball games before. But watching the experience in Vegas is like no other. You see the crowds of people, the fans representing their teams. Some people are alumni. They're representing their teams. So it's a lot of feelings involved. A lot of people chanting their school songs after made baskets and after victories. And you will hear somebody chant a song on one side of the room, and then the other side of the room who went to that school also that's alumni will finish the end of that verse. It's so cool here in Las Vegas. You know, when you at home, most of the fans are the fans of the city. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of UNLV fans here, but I would say the majority of the people that live here are not UNLV rebels. That's not the case in every other city. A lot of cities you visit, the core fan base is for that local school or university. Here, it's not like that. You're going to have a whole crowd of Villanova alumni. You're going to have a whole crowd of USC alumni. All those people over there went to Boise. You see what I'm saying? So you get a lot of action. You learn a little bit about each team, each university's fan base. And like I said, you make a little money, man. And then you always get to spend time with the fellas, and y'all get to talk about sports. You know, some of the best venues that our dots visited for March Madness. Some of the best ones. For one, the Legacy Sports, I guess it's a sports stadium. Sportsbook Stadium. It's inside the Venetian. It used to be the old Jay-Z's 40-40 club that didn't work out. So they have stadium seating, and they have these huge screens, and then they have bars surrounding the whole sports book. So you can go down to the pit like you just imagine you're in the stadium and you're at the top floor, and you know how the stadium goes down if your seat's at the bottom. That's how the Legacy is. Great venue to watch March Madness. You have to get there early, and you probably have to reserve a seat there. Also, a nice other spot to watch the game, Caesars. Caesars has two places. They have a place, of course, the sports book where it's always cracking, and then they have a place that's exclusive to people that rent the area. It's catered. They have their own waitress. It's real player, all right? They have an area that's just solely dedicated to people who want their own private parties catered. I had a chance to do both. So when you do the private party, it comes with about 5 to 8 chairs, or however many seats you need, I think they give you. But the good part is it comes with about 4 screens, because I believe they only show 4 games at a time. So it comes with all 4 screens, so you can watch all 4 games at the same time. And they give out little iPads, so you can leave yours at home so you can do your betting that already has the gambling apps all on them. That's at Caesars. Great place to watch the March Madness tournament. Another great place that everyone knows about is the Las Vegas Sportsbook. Huge place. Every game, huge screens, so many people, just fans everywhere. I think the only knock on the Las Vegas Sportsbook is because it's so huge, you get a lot of smoke because it's so many people. So if you can't tolerate smoke, I would not advise you going to the Las Vegas Sportsbook. They do have a little area that it is non-smoking, but the problem is it's so small, you have to be there early or you won't even get in. But the Las Vegas Sportsbook has every bet. That's the sportsbook that you can bet that the Gatorade color is green versus red, or that the national anthem won't go over a minute and a half, over and under minus 250. Ridiculous props. That's the casino that can afford it. That's the one you need to go to if you want to bet all types of ridiculous props, like James Harden points, assists, and rebounds versus the whole team, versus like Trae Young or something. Crazy props. Another good place that I've encountered that's off the strip, believe it or not, because not every great casino or sports book that's lively and function is on the strip. Let's be honest. I'm gonna give you one that's not popping on the strip. If you go into the New York, their sports book is like the size of a dorm room. You can fit about 5 people in that sports book, and you have to have a go-go gadget neck to look at the games because the screens are so high on the wall, it's crazy. You can't even listen. You can't even see the screens in there. So not every place on the strip has a great sports book. MGM, as big as that place is, and MGM is ginormous. Don't get it twisted. As big as that place is, the MGM should have a better sports book. To me, the MGM is lacking on the sports book because that place is ginormous. Let's see. One of the best sports books off the strip, that's where I was at, to watch NCAA basketball. Red Rock Casino, hands down. State of the art. They got live betting. They have a guy that announces the live betting lines that you can actually hear. If you go to other casinos, they just had this mumble mouth MF doing the live lines, and you can't hear nothing but mumble. That's all you hear. And you like, what was the line? So you got to go up there and check the line because they don't have it on the board. Not at Red Rock. Red Rock has the line up, especially live betting, because that's important for a lot of people. Because I know a lot of folks, when they live bet, sometimes they'll take the dog at the beginning of the game feeling like, hey, if it goes south, then I can always jump on the favorite live or in game, or vice versa. Maybe you take the favorite and then want to jump on the dog in game when you see that the dog is, maybe playing well. So Red Rock, they do a great job of having that line ready and available as soon as the commercial pop up. Some casinos, when the commercial is on, that's when the live line's supposed to pop up. But some casinos, they won't put the live line up until like the second commercial. And commercials only the commercial break usually is only 30 to 35 seconds long in between timeouts. By the time that second commercial comes on, you only got about 15 seconds to get your bet in. And that's just ridiculous. And that's just not good business. You know what I'm saying? That's not good business. So anyway, Red Rock Casino, it's a good one. On the Strip, inside of the Cosmo, they may have one of the best casinos to watch March Madness. Not only do they have a fully accessible bar, they also play games. They have a pool table, foosball, and I believe air hockey and Jenga, all in their sports book. So it's a great place to watch games, period, but it's an even better venue to watch March Madness. Those are just some of the places. Now, Aria has redesigned their sports book specifically for March Madness. I haven't seen it yet, but I plan on going by there sooner than later to check it out, because March Madness is on deck in about 2 weeks. We're going to have conference tournaments here next week, and then right after, boom, the madness begins. Tonight, we got a lot of action in NCAA and NBA. Some top 25 action in college basketball tonight. Duke versus Virginia Tech. Marvin Bagley III is back. He averaged 21 points per game, 11 rebounds per game. Duke, number 5, visiting Virginia Tech. I believe Virginia Tech gave Duke a good battle last game, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be real interesting to see how Duke responds on the road, too, because if you watch a couple of Duke games, they are not the typical Coach K, smart, very intelligent team from the past. This team is very, very different from any one of his other teams. And I know you're going to say it's because of the one and dones, but technically that's not true. He had one and dones, and they won the title. So technically it's not true. Last game, I'm sadly mistaken. Last game, Duke even played Virginia Tech was a straight blowout, 74-52. So Virginia Tech will be on the revenge factor tonight at Virginia Tech. Also, you got Texas at Kansas, which will always be a good game. Texas coming in and Kansas sitting at number 6. Texas coming in sitting at 17-12. Kansas are 23-6. Should be a good game, man. Should be a good game. Always is. Last time they played was December 29th. Texas lost at home 86-92 to Kansas. High-scoring game. Kansas is rolling right now. They rolling. They won their last 4. Last game versus Texas Tech, they edged them out 74-72. Huge comeback win versus West Virginia about 7 days ago. If you guys remember that game, West Virginia was up the whole game, damn near the whole game. And Kansas, that crowd got behind them, and Kansas just prevailed. Texas coming in off a win off of Oklahoma State. They beat them 65-64. It's going to be a tough one. Also, number 12, Texas Tech are visiting number 20, West Virginia tonight. Texas Tech 22-7. West Virginia 21-8. Should be a good game tonight as well. I can't wait for this tournament to go down because I'm so mixed up with how everything is going. I don't know who is what. I don't know who's going to win. Right now, Virginia's sitting at number 1. Michigan State, even with all the Miles Bridges things going on, they're still sitting at number 2. Number 3, Xavier, they're moving up. Villanova just lost this weekend to, what's that school out in Nebraska? It just slipped my mind. It might be Creighton, but they just lost to a school they shouldn't have lost to, so they moved down. Duke, number 5. Kansas, number 6. Gonzaga, number 7. We'll see them tomorrow in action. Number 8, Purdue. Number 9, North Carolina. And number 10, Cincinnati. That's a very good Cincinnati team. Don't get it twisted. I seen them play. That guard play is strong. It's a typical Cincinnati team. I expect them to make a lot of noise in the tournament. Like I said, I can't tell. I don't know who's going to be the number 1 seeds in this tournament this year. It's super open. But you know what? During March Madness or during the conference tournaments, we'll see who's for real. Because this year everything is close, but we'll see. I think things will start to separate each other in these conference tournaments. We're going to see the good teams and the bad teams because of fatigue factor and things like that, you know. You guys listening to R. Dot on this happy Monday. It's the Full Court Press. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Hit us up on our YouTube channel, Sports and Giggles, SoundCloud. We're everywhere now. So hit us up on our SNGLV. Just put that hashtag in, and all of our platforms will pop up. And just subscribe to all of them. Give me about 30 seconds. We're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be right back. You chilling on the Full Court Press. Full Court Press, welcome back. Gonna talk some NBA now. Cleveland Cavaliers not looking so hot after that little 2-game win streak. Getting smashed over the weekend by the Spurs. I want to ask you guys, though. Are the Rockets for real? Man. Golden State putting in work over the weekend. A lot of teams. OKC not looking that good. What's going on? Man, but first, I got a caller on the line who want to talk a little bit about what he's seen in the second half of the NBA season so far. Hello? Caller, are you there?
Wait, hold on, I got to put this baby to sleep. Wait, shut up, LeBron. Stop crying.
Oh, no.
Wait. Sorry, this little baby. What is wrong with LeBron James crying?
Oh, man. Hater Harry, what's on your mind? What's going on?
Oh, my God. He talking about the refs. Do the refs report to LeBron? Hey, they fouling too much. Hey, y'all fouling LeBron too much. Hey, suspend this guy. Let's suspend this guy. LeBron James is the biggest diva. Diana Ross ain't got nothing on LeBron James.
Not Diana Ross. Not the Diana Ross reference. What? They just it's a new team. They got new players all around. They have to get acclimated. LeBron James kind of got a point when he sees James Harden and Russell Westbrook getting all the foul calls, and they going to the free throw line 18 times a game.
These are young. I never understood this rule where the best player gets the most calls. Shouldn't the best player get the least calls? You just giving him more advantage. And stop counting everybody else's money. LeBron James ain't Monique. He trying to go down for Netflix and everything. Stay in your lane. Your lane.
Okay, well look at this. Of course, they on a little losing streak, losing to San Antonio.
Bandwagon got light real quick.
It has. He's been on TV on the record saying, you know, it's a growing pains. We got new players. Larry Nance Jr., he's saying the same. Everyone seems to be on the same page, unlike the last team when they were having problems. Everyone was all in different directions.
Larry Nance, not Kuzman. Was the all you players that just got there? Welcome to Cleveland, because when you win, it's all LeBron, and when you lose, it's all y'all's fault. Welcome to the Cavaliers.
That is true. You ain't never lie, Hater Harry. One thing I gotta say about you, Hater Harry, you be hating, but you ain't never lie.
Wow. That's what I do, sir. I speak the gospel. And let me just tell you for the record, these Houston Rockets, they might be for real.
I've been telling everybody that, son.
They might be for real.
I've been
telling that. They match up very well with Golden State. Now, they don't play no D, and that might be a slight problem, but Golden State is the team, and I think they match up with them because right now, James, nobody has an answer for him.
Does the second unit for the Houston Rockets play D, though?
But they don't score. They can hold their ground, but they don't score. I'm still not ready to pick nobody else over Golden State yet. But Houston might be for real.
What do you say about to the players, like the second tier players? And I don't want to use no names because I'm a second tier podcaster. So I don't want to use no names and hurt no one's egos. But how do you feel about second tier players complaining to the refs about foul calls?
Oh man, those second tier players like John Wall, he should never complain. He need to get in the gym. That's why his whole team eats. We ain't gonna talk about how they lead the league and team assists because everybody eats. Who else do we got? These second tier, these Lou Williams. Lou Williams need to shut up. Talking about he mad because Jimmy Butler did play in the All-Star game. This is a classic hater move. This like, oh, you got the fine girl over there and you gonna play her? Man, I wouldn't have played her. Shut up. Come get the girl that I get, and then you can hate. Lou Williams, shut up. If your long-lost dream is to be an all-star, that's why you'll never be one. Get out of my face.
Wow. So that's how you feel about Lou Williams right now? I thought that was your boy last week.
Never been my boy.
Lou,
he's from Georgia, I represent, but I don't like him. He's nobody.
Do you believe Lou Williams should have been an all-star?
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
The West is way too deep. Chris Paul should have made it over Lou Williams. You had any number of people could have made it over Lou Williams. This ain't the East.
We talking
about in Toronto.
We talking about this year though. We talking about this year, Lou Williams. He's been balling this year, not over a time spread, but this year you don't think he deserved to be an all-star?
He's in the West. It don't work like that. You gotta put in your work. You can't just come in and say, yo, I'm fly. Nah, you gotta get your stripes. Get your stripes.
Now what about your Los Angeles Lakers, hater? Dallas, they beat Dallas and Sacramento, but before that, they had a 3-game skid.
I'm still not on Isaiah Thomas. I even look at when the team scores points, the whole bench claps except him. All he think about is him. He already taken the most shots on the team and he just got there. I just don't want him there. He's a herpes blister on our team. And he just keeps popping up, and we don't need him right now.
He's got to get his money, man. You guys sitting at 25 and 34. He's looking to get a payday. You got to remember his main stay for the whole year last year was I'm going to play well so I can get the big money. He's still chasing that dream.
He need to go somewhere to the East with a team and no championships. He can go to Indiana. He can go to Orlando. They'll love to have an Isaiah Thomas and treat him like a king and give him an Isaiah Day and blah, 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 but it's not happening in LA. Kobe said it best. If you don't want to come here, You don't deserve to be here. You gotta want it.
What's going on? What you think about the Kawhi Leonard situation?
Kawhi has finally hit his peak with San Antonio. Nobody wants to live in San Antonio. Nobody wants to play in that system. He got his ring. He got his chip. Once you got the chip and the money, you worried about your happiness now. That's what people don't understand. These are human beings. What else can he do in San Antonio? He got it all. Got the money and the chip. Let me go somewhere where I'm happy and I trust the doctors that diagnose me so I won't stay out longer. He's scared. He's just scared to play on it now. That's all it is.
Hey there, Harry. How do you feel about? Oh, first of all, let me ask you this. Hey there, Harry. Did you see the Black Panther movie?
I did twice.
How you feel about it?
I feel like it was Barack Obama. You had to vote for him because he was black. You don't know none of his policies, but you had to vote for him. This movie was not the greatest movie I ever saw. It was a solid movie, but because it's Black Panther, wow. I think people that go to Star Wars and Harry Potter and dress up are weird. So I'm going to think people that go to this movie and dress up is weird too. It didn't change my life. It didn't uplift black people. It was just a movie with all black people that did well.
Now, did you read the reports that Disney and Marvel made over $500 million in about 10 days?
And still rising.
Now, do you understand the power of black people?
If only we could use that towards things that actually matter instead of movies.
I know, right? That's all I was trying to say. And people wanted to beat me up. All I was trying to say is, what is important to us as black? I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to assassinate nobody. I'm not trying to downplay anyone on what they feel. I'm just asking a question. What is important to us as a race? It sounds like to me movies and athletes only.
That's what it seemed like.
Oh, and not even really rappers no more. They kind of moved down to the D list now. Rappers.
Yeah, people look at rappers like, ew, you know rappers? You talk to a rapper? Ew.
Well, man, hey, thanks for hollering at. Oh, recreational marijuana, legal in California. What's going on with that, Blaze?
It's pretty much alcohol now. All you need to be is over 21. You don't even have to have a California state, any kind of license over 21. You're good to go.
You can just go in, show your ID, just like alcohol.
Just like alcohol now.
Unbelievable. People 20 years ago would have never thought this moment. Back when the Chronic came out, when Dr. Dre was talking about the Chronic, he probably would have never thought about this.
They got it now. Now they taxing it too with $3 tax on it. So, oof.
Ooh, it's a $3 tax now?
Yeah. Yeah, ooh, man.
Marijuana is going up. What does that do to the street dealer?
Oh, he phased out. Ain't nobody going to the street now. You go straight to the store where you be like, what's this level? Oh no, that oh, that's for the sleepy one. Or I could be woke. Nah, no street level no more. He's done.
So does the street dealer have to do like deals now, like saying, hey, you get, if you buy this eighth, I give you this free gift card to Macy's.
Yeah, nobody's doing that. Everybody's just going to the store.
Man. All right, man. Thanks for visiting us on the Full Court Press today, man. Happy Monday to you. Try to get that hate out your heart.
Never that. Hate is always on time and never late. Salute.
Peace. Hey to Harry, you guys. That's my guy. He always keeps it 100 on the show. He talks NBA. He hates LeBron because he's a Kobe fan and he loves the Lakers. If you know R. you know R. is a Warriors fan. And what I saw on Saturday when they played OKC was a team in OKC that was doomed from the start of the whistle. They didn't have a chance to win that game. They already beat them twice in a row. No team in the last 5 years has beaten Golden State 3 times in a row. All the chips were stacked up against OKC in that game. Not only that, referees were allowing Golden State to maul OKC, and OKC wasn't allowed to breathe on anyone on Golden State. So the teams were reffed very differently during that game. And trust me, I'm super biased towards Golden State sometimes because I'm a fan of theirs, but I keep it real. I know when the refs are cheating. You know, one thing still remains the same that I saw in the game is that your boy Steph Curry, a.k.a. Chef Curry, is a little still intimidated by Russell Westbrook. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because he can't match that intensity. Maybe Steph is just too chill. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, he doesn't match the intensity. Not too many people do. But on the superstar level, Dame Lillard goes hard versus Russell Westbrook. Chris Paul goes hard versus Westbrook. Even Mike Conley Jr. goes hard. You got these superstar or these all-star caliber guards. I still see them show a lot. Maybe Westbrook is just Steph's kryptonite guy. You know, it's always that one player that always gives you trouble on the basketball court. I had a nemesis. I had a few that I just, we'd go back and forth. Oh, he get me. But I've never been the one to shade away from competition. I'm not saying Steph is doing that. He just plays poorly against Russ. He does. That game on Saturday without KD, the Warriors may have lost that game. It would have probably been tight all the way through, but KD's second quarter lifted the Warriors. I think he had 17, 18 points in the second quarter, hitting threes, hitting jump shots, getting out in transition, playing defense. He just took over and showed why the Warriors needed him. One thing I don't like about the Warriors this year is it seems like they play when they want to play and they don't play 100 all the time. That's the type of mentality that bites you in the playoffs. Nobody's that good. Trust me. If you watched the Houston Rockets-Denver game last night, Houston was up the whole game. The whole entire game, Houston was up. Double digits. At one point, they were up 20. Denver kept fighting and fighting. Houston took their foot off the pedal and let them back in the game. Happens all the time in the NBA. If you are a gambler and you watch NBA and gamble on NBA, you know 20-point leads are nothing. They always evaporate. The thing about it, though, is this. If you're a gambler last night, you were pissed if you had Houston. Because being up by 20 in the fourth quarter, you think the game is in your hands and you're going to be cashing out a ticket. However, if you have 4.5 or 5, if you had 5, you pushed. If you had the 4.5, you won by half a point. Lucky you. And if you on the other side, that sucks because they pulled a huge comeback. But that's why you got to have in-game betting on your app. You got to have that if you're a betting guy. Because in those situations when Houston up 20, you're going to get a great in-running line on Denver. Double digits probably. At least a 12, 13. And you take that. That's how you gamble, ladies and gents. It's not a game. It's not just, I'm picking teams because I can see who's better. No, you can't. Anyways, Houston last night showed me a lot of things. First of all, with the additions of Joe Johnson and Brandon Wright, they showed me they had a lot of depth and they had a lot of versatility with how they can play. They can move Joe Johnson to the point if they want to. I like the fact that they put CP3 in the second unit to help with the scoring. You got Joe Johnson to help with some scoring in the second unit. And then you have Ryan Anderson If he's hot, you got to respect him in the second unit. And Eric Gordon didn't even play last night. You got a good second unit that matches up pretty well with the Warriors. OKC's bench, they're not up to par with those two teams' bench, you know. Those two teams' benches are way ahead of OKC's bench. If OKC had a bench like Houston or Golden State, they'll be right up there with them. But that's what separates those two teams with OKC. The only thing that separates the Spurs, and we're going to see it in the playoffs, is the lack of superstars. Referees give the stars the calls in the playoffs. You can't be naive to this. You can't. It's the truth. You're going to see. So everyone is wondering if Houston is for real. Can they really pull off the victory? It's going to depend on the seeding. You know, if Golden State hits OKC first, even though Golden State's going to climb out of that as a victory, as the victor, it still should be a 6 to 7 game grueling, series. Easy. Melo's going to put in work. He's got playoff experience. He's going to play hard because he understands the circumstances. Paul George is going to play hard. Russ is going to play hard. We know he goes 100, win or lose. He's going 100. So it's going to be a tough series. I believe the public wants to see OKC versus Golden State in the playoffs, and I believe it's going to happen. So if that scenario happens, then I could see OKC losing, but giving Golden State troubles, wearing them down, and then maybe Golden State plays another team in the next round, maybe like Minnesota, or something like that. Because if Houston get the number 1 seed, they're going to get the lowest seeded teams, in the playoffs. And then they're going to be at home for home court advantage throughout the playoffs. So it's going to be everything's going to fall into Houston's court. James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Nene, Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, Joe Johnson, CP3. These are names, man. These are guys that can play. These are not unproven rookies or unproven young players who we don't know how they're going to react in the playoffs under pressure situations. Now, a lot of people still slacking on James Harden because we don't know if James Harden got tired in the playoffs or did he bitch up. We don't know. The jury's going to be out this year on him because he can't use that I'm tired excuse. Your team's floating through the season. You're not the only one scoring buckets. You're not the only one handling the ball. You don't get all the pressure no more. Your coach is giving you ample rest because he knows he doesn't want to burn you out in the for the playoffs. There's no excuse on fatigue this year. So I can't wait to see how Houston responds because last year in the playoffs, second round, they put in a dub, just a leaky performance. That performance was just horrible. We like to call that horrible because that's what it was, horrible. So we'll see this year, Houston, if you're for real. We gonna see. Now, I think they're for real. I think guys like P.J. Tucker, Clint Capella, even Joe Johnson, because he can play little D. I think those guys riding on your team, I think those guys make the difference. Steve Kerr, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, Phil Jackson, they all say the same thing about winning multiple chips. You want to get better each year in the offseason, even if it's slightly better, even if it's a bench player that play your particular style was a huge pickup specifically for your team. Golden State did not do that this year, and no one on their bench has emerged as I'm the better guy from last year. Houston has done that. They've gotten better 10 times all the way around. So we'll see if they're for real. I hope they is. I hope they are. I hope they are. I want to see somebody give Golden State a challenge in the West. I do. I don't want to see the same teams as last year. I don't want to see Golden State and Cleveland. I want someone to challenge these guys and give them a show, man. Like, let me see. Don't bow down to these guys. Challenge them and let's win. Let's get a win, or let's just get a good series. So tonight you got Lakers, Hawks, Grizzlies at the Celtics. We're going to see Celtic action. You got Warriors visiting the Knicks. Should be an interesting game. It's always fun to watch some of these superstars from the visiting team torch the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. But my pick tonight, and this is going to be crazy, but I got two picks. I think this is a good spot for the Pistons tonight. I think they cover versus the Raptors. That game starts at 4:35. I think they cover. I don't know if they win, but I think the Pistons going to put in some work. Raptors been kind of riding a wave. They've been real hot lately. They lost their last game, and I noticed that these teams, they usually lose 2 in a row. 24-5 at home, Toronto. I think they're 24-6 or 24-5 tonight, but they won't cover. The team that I think wins outright tonight, though, I believe will be the Suns. They're at New Orleans. The Suns play well on the road. I know a lot of people won't bet the Suns because they're whack, but listen, yo, I think they win. They're +7.5, +8, +7. I think they're gonna win straight up, and I believe they cover. If I'm wrong, my bad. But that's just my two picks for tonight. Remember, Monday nights, NBA, underdogs kill. All day, underdogs kill Monday night NBA. You gotta trust me on that. I've been kind of gauging it all year long. Check this out, though. Big Three just signed Lamont Murray. Last week I told y'all they signed Amari Stoudemire. Ice Cube's Big Three putting in work. Some of the teams, three-headed monster. That's with Rashard Lewis, Jason Williams, Kwame Brown, 50-year-old Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, 1 year later, 51-year-old, and then Coach GP. Power, Corey Maggette, Katina Mobley. Cat was real good last year in the Big Three. Jerome Williams, that team, and the coach was Clyde Drexler. Listen to the names. Trilogy, Kenyon Martin, Al Harrington, Rashad McCants, and the coach was Rick Mahorn. The Killer Threes, Chauncey Billups is back. Captain Jack, Steven Jackson, Reggie Evans, Larry Hughes, Brian Cook, and Coach Charles Oakley. Killer Threes. Threes Company had AI, DeMar Johnson, Michael Sweetney. He had all his boys. Ruben Patterson. Ghost Ballers had my guy Marcus Banks, Ricky D, Coach George Gervin, Sacramento King Mike Bibby. The Ghost Ballers, Tri-State, Ball Hogs. Those was the teams last year. They're adding 2 more teams this year. Lamont Murray just signed, ex-Clipper. Big Three, popping. Yo, I want to tell y'all an embarrassing story because you know what? I'm always telling y'all and making fun of people on my show, and people be like, man, R-Dot, you always talking crap. You don't ever say nothing about, what about you? What about you? So look, I was riding in the Uber, all right, here in Las Vegas. This Uber driver gonna be pissed if he know, but he don't know me. So I'm riding in the Uber, right? And basically, my daughter was asleep, and I had to use the bathroom hella bad. Now, when your kid is asleep, yo, you don't want to wake up your kid. You just don't want to do it. You know why you don't want to do it? Because she been giving me hell all day, just wearing me out. I don't want to wake her up. So it's a difference when you're an Uber driver, when you're an Uber passenger and you're an Uber passenger with your kid, you know, dad versus dad with a kid. Now I had to pee real bad. We was about 5 minutes away from the crib. I thought I can hold it, whatever. So I'm like, should I tell the Uber driver to pull over and go, and then I have to pull my kid out the car, go to the bathroom, use the bathroom, then wake her up, then put my kid back in the car, do all this crap, and then be up with her all for the rest of the afternoon? I could do all that, right? But then I was like, man, she just went to sleep. I don't want to do that. So this is what a dad would do. This is what dads do. So I was coming from the gym. I had a towel, a big towel, and I had some of her diapers in my bag. I put the towel underneath me, and I put her diaper on. And I straight went to the bathroom in the back of the Uber just like that. There you have it. R. Dot telling stories. Uber driver didn't even know. I felt it's nothing like a great piss. It's nothing like it. But yeah, man, that's what I had to do. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do as a parent. And that was one of those times. Anyways, if you got an embarrassing story to tell, shoot it to us on our social media. Let us know how you feel. Thank you for tuning in. I love it when you guys listen. We'll be back on Thursday, the Full Court Press, sportsandgiggles.com, Las Vegas's premier sports podcast. Every Monday, 11 a.m., every Thursday, 2 p.m. Thank you guys for listening. R. Dot, and I'm out.